Hi, everybody. Have you been aware all of a sudden that your body is changing and that your energy is changing? And most of all, that you're starting to become aware of something more that you can't deny that would be maybe my intuition. But of course, I don't know that I have that. Are you starting to get downloads? Are you starting to have insights or very strong sense of, oh no, I'm not doing that? Well, my name's Sonia Choquette. I am an intuitive spiritual teacher, a channel, a guide. I've been working with people for over 50 years. I've been out in the field since the day I was born, just about. It's been my mission to teach us how to prepare for the times we are presently in. It's like the boat's been coming forever, the ship's arriving, and now all aboard. Today I'm going to talk about your intuition waking up, which is a huge, huge part of going into five-dimensional living, the fifth dimension. So the ego dimension, which is where we've all been, has been so dominated by fear and control and threat and lack of safety. There's no room for intuition. We're so afraid of trying anything and so afraid of being ourselves that we're not receiving guidance until now. If you are starting to recognize guidance, but you don't have the habit of creating space for that, that's what we're going to talk about today, because that's your spirit. Your superpower coming back in and taking over. If you're new to my channel, I'm so glad you're here. And frankly, I'm sure your spirit led you here. If you're coming back and you've been here before, I want to give you a big hug. Welcome back. And I hope if you get enough out of this conversation, you subscribe and stay tuned. So let's talk about one of the biggest indications that you are leaving the third dimension of power, fighting, struggle, isolation, fear, being lost, trying to figure it out, miserable, scared, broke, struggling. Do I need to go on? And you're actually starting to wake up to something different. Are you suddenly starting to feel intuition, get guidance, hits, hunches, ahas, downloads, sudden creative ideas and urges to do this or try that or gotta get out of here. And you just cannot ignore it any longer? Well, hooray! One of the biggest indications, as I said, that you are starting to really become a spirit identified higher frequency consciousness in your body. You are really rising to a higher dimension. It's inevitable that your inner guidance system is turning back on. So that's what I'm going to talk about today, how you notice it, what to do about it, how not to lose it, how not to fight it. So the first thing is, have you noticed? One of my favorite definitions of intuition is to notice. Have you noticed that you're actually starting to notice things in you and around you? This is because your consciousness is elevating up away from the ego, which doesn't notice anything because the ego is self-absorbed. It's tuning it all out. Like, have you ever run around the house going, where are my keys? In a frantic mess and they're in your hand? Or I can't see it when it's right in front of your face. Well, that's what the ego does to you. It checks you out. But when your spirit returns, you start to notice things. For example, you might be in a conversation with someone that you don't know, and something they say that you can't quite put your finger on doesn't feel good to you, doesn't resonate, it's not a good vibe. And this time, you're not going to ignore it. That's your spirit returning. That is your superpower. Pay attention. Now, you have noticed, but the key is listen to it. Or have you all of a sudden, maybe you were relaxing, maybe you were doing the laundry, maybe just dozing off, maybe you were mindlessly drying the dishes or putting them away, and bam, a beautiful idea, a solution, or a new thought or a new instruction just drops in. I had a client the other day who is in the restaurant business, and all of a sudden he got this intuitive hit to sell his restaurants. And he hadn't been thinking about it. That's all he knew. But he got the hit. It's time to sell your restaurants. He had a couple. They were very successful. But he thought, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Well, he thought, I'm going to entertain that idea. I actually never thought about it, but why does it make me feel so happy? Within 10 days, he was contacted by someone who said, I want to buy your restaurants for a price he never imagined. And he said, well, I maybe would be interested, but what do I do? And he said, well, actually, I want you to stay on and just give us guidance. Just be a consultant. So he said, you mean I get to do what I love best without all the responsibility and expense? And he said, pretty much. Now, his intuition prepared him for this radical life change. Isn't that marvelous? That might be happening to you, because the other part of our spirits returning home is that we are going to be guided to make big changes and get back on track if the lives we've created for ourselves, if the life you've created for yourself isn't what you want. Now, this is what's capturing most people by surprise. It's like, what do you mean quit the job I've done for 30 years and go actually move out and live on the beach? And your ego goes, that is so irresponsible. But your spirit says, no, it's not. It is actually responding to who you really are and giving that other true self a chance while you're in your body to have a life you love. You know, we've been taught by our egos and by our ego-based teachers that the things of our spirit we can't trust. They're not real. They're not practical. But we've been real and practical. And how has that worked out for you? Do you love your job? Do you cannot wait to get up in the morning? Is your heart open? Are you happy to be around? Are you joyful? Can you hardly wait to get to work? If the answer is yes, bravo and hooray, you have been following your spirit. But if your answer is, are you kidding me? I would so much rather be doing something else, and you've been getting the guidance to do something else, give it a thought, entertain it, consider it, because this is the junction to write your path and open those doors that actually will work for you. You know, our egos are so used to that third dimension is disappointment, dead ends, no way, won't work out, not happy, not satisfying. And your spirit is going to drop in with these downloads that say, hey, escape now. You can actually have the life you love. Just let go of the identity that you're holding on to, that you're this old person. I talked to a client just today, who said, I'm so lost. I'm a teacher. I don't like my job. I want to quit. I'm so uninspired. I don't like the people. Do you have any idea what I can do? And I said, first of all, I really want to ask you, has your spirit shown you that you're a writer? And she said, oh my God, I think of writing children's books all the time. Well, I said, there's a clear indication of what to begin. She goes, yeah, but that's a big ego signal. Yeah, but stop, go back and be miserable. Yeah, but I don't know how to do it. And I said, and you don't know that you can't. So you can start there. Have you considered being a private tutor? She said, absolutely, yes. In fact, I was thinking of moving to Asia and tutoring people who want to learn English as a second language. I said, there's another super indication, intuitive clue. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know anybody there. Although she said, I was offered twice in the last 3 weeks an opportunity to do that job. Kind of weird, right? Came out of nowhere. It's like, not weird. your spirit is trying to save you, trying to bring you back to a path that'll make you happy. Read the signs. So that's the kind of thing, what are we can't look for Elvis showing up with a pizza, okay? We've got to look for the more subtle signs. But these clues, these strong indications, try something new, make a job change, try a move. Don't treat them like intrusive thoughts you have to kill. That's guidance. That is your safety net. That is your signal to get back on the track of who you are on a soul level, the divine spirit of you who can live a super empowered life. So be aware of these guidances. Now, if you say, I'm not ready to make all those changes. Okay, we do change very, very cautiously. The ego is always so scared. So here's what I recommend you do. When you get those downloads, the very first thing I really want you to do is get your phone. Most people have a phone with a voice recorder. Record it. There's something empowering about actually giving voice to what you're feeling. It becomes more real. It becomes stronger. And pay attention to your body, because as you feel this resonant energy, it will give you courage. Second thing I encourage you to do is write it down, because you can choose to ignore it. But if you write it down, you have evidence that you are being guided. Your higher self, your angels, your guides, your divine self, your spirit, your authentic self, all of the above are with you, trying to help you course correct. And if you write it down, you'll have evidence. Now, you always have a choice. You don't have to listen to this guidance, but you certainly will be less inclined to ignore it if you write it down. And the third thing you can do is tell somebody who will support you. So listen to this one closely. Don't go tell someone who's going to say you're nuts, you're crazy, some stuck in the third dimension, negative barking dog who's going to bite your butt off and say, what are you thinking? Don't want you to change, want you to stay miserable with me kind of person. Don't go there. Do go if you know anybody who could be supportive to your spirit and who loves and would say, yeah, that's absolutely something you should consider. If you don't have that kind of support, you can find it my Good Vibe Tribe. I'll leave that in the notes below and you can check it out, because I do know it is important that we have support. It is very important that we have people to champion us. The good news is this awakening of our sixth sense is happening spontaneously to so many people. I don't think you're going to have a hard time finding support. So here's the other thing. Be supportive to people who around you are awakening, and that will accelerate the process for you. If someone says, I got this funny feeling the other day that I should go on a trip, say, trust it, go for it. That's your intuition. That's your spirit. That's your angels and guides. And they'll think, what are you talking about? They're going to lean in and listen because you're telling the truth. Be the upper, because we're going to a higher frequency. We're elevating to a lighter energy. So you can contribute it with a simple principle of fake it till you make it. Your ego is a party pooper, okay? It's going to ruin the party. It's the want, go down, be scared, what do you think, don't change vibe that we're so familiar with. But your spirit, which is the voice of your intuition, is the, yes, do that. And find that voice for yourself. So my last little tip for today is, when you do get an intuitive gift and your intuition wakes up, say thank you. Don't say, oh my God, that's so weird. How bizarre. I can't figure it out. I wonder why I'm thinking that. Where did that come from? All of that is just the ego trying to shut you down. Say, what a good idea. Yes, I'll consider it. Yes, that feels right. Yes, and I'm scared, so ask for more guidance. Show me more. Give me more guidance, because I'm willing. That's what you want to do. So this is the system that we're waking up, and I'm going to stick with you a little bit and give you more guidance. But this time, I just want you to really tune into this awakening sixth sense. It's happening to us everywhere because it's part of our evolution. It's part of our indication that our spirit is coming home, that we are getting back into our bodies, that our spirit, our authentic self is taking over. You know what else it does? It makes your life really, really exciting and fun again. So that's my message today. Thank you for tuning in. Let that elevation to the fifth dimension, let that shift to a brighter, higher vibration include you. Say yes, it's happening. So please subscribe, and I'll see you again very soon. All my love.